I like the little red potatoes because I like getting 3 or 4 of those babies and smashing them up and
some butter on.
I liked. I didn't mind, other than having to carry the heavy.
Wait, are we going around a second time?
I was adding to your story.
Go ahead.
This has been the Joe Wheel.
Oh, nice. Like that? Yeah, Roy from Elroy. He's coming up in our podcast a little bit later on after the first part, Mazo Sightwise, Wisconsinites Weekly.
See what you did there.
Yeah, I snuck that in, didn't I? But those are also available if you want one. We just had somebody contact us and they wanted a T-shirt. They're $20, and shipping is free. Here's the other one. Let me get that for you.
Oh, yeah. That's my favorite. I think the color scheme is very nice. Opposite way. Yeah, there you go. It's got my head and Dad's head on there.
Yep,
we might need to start. Yeah, we might need to start a new one with the other boys on there.
Yeah, the couch potatoes. Mm-hmm. Well, here we are, 65, and we've had a week off. We're going to have a week off. As far as our plan is now, we're going to have a week off July 4th and also around Christmas, just to give us all a break. You know, you guys especially a break from us. This is 65.
We welcome you back from the 4th of July, and we hope that you are all in one piece, as we are all in one piece. I've never been, I like fireworks, but I've never been the type that's like, here, let me do something that might potentially harm me for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
That's not me. Maybe that's you. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of a scaredy cat. I don't like to do things too dangerous.
I like my fingers too much, I think.
Yeah. So what else we got going today?
We got the Wonder Wheel. We're going to have a little bit of video footage of going local with the locals here in Mazomania. It's something they throw every year. It's small businesses, the businesses around the area, they have booths and information and all sorts of stuff.
Up at the hardware store.
Up at the hardware store, right?
That's just a block and
like
a half
a block
away
and
from
a
us.
half away. Yeah. So go check that out. That's this Saturday. Any idea what time that starts? I'm sure we'll find out in the podcast.
Yeah, and Jonathan will probably bring that. And because we were in Michigan, we spent some time there, and some of us went to a lake, a private lake, and did some tubing. And maybe we'll have a little video clip of that, and maybe a few other little ditties from our trip to Michigan to visit Becky's folks and family. What do you think about that?
I think that's fine. I think we'll get started then.
It's all coming up.
Hey, this is Bill DeWeese, pro voiceover talent and voiceover career coach. And this is the original Father-Son Voiceover Podcast.
It is episode 65 of the original Father-Son Voiceover Podcast with Todd talking right now, and Hudson is getting things set up. He's our executive producer. John is really producing the show right now because he's got the cans on, the headphones. That's John up there at the table. Drew is right next door to me, and Joe is over at Information Central. Wasn't it nice to have a week off from us? Let's be honest. We're going to take a week off, at least at this point, we're going to take a week off around July 4th, which we just did, and then around Christmas time. Give everybody a little bit of break. You know, everybody has to have some unplugging time.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of people are clamoring for us to come back and do this show.
Judy Curtis said she watches every single video.
Yeah. Michelle does down at the 1855 Coffee House, our sponsor. Mm-hmm. All you got to do is ask her for 10% off.
Well, that's because she's invested.
We got a Danish today.
We did.
Go down there to the 1855 Coffee House and ask for a Danish. Michelle really enjoys it when you do.
Mm-hmm. Ask for the 10% and ask for Danish.
Are those homemade?
We won't say. We're not going to say because that's going to give it
No
away.
say.
But what do we got on the show today, Hudson, or can we not say it?
We sure can. We've got an extended Mazo Sightwise.
What's going on?
Joe's got a short Wisconsin Heights Weekly because there's not a lot going on, but we're going to still throw some stuff out there. Mom and I went to going loco with the locals over at the hardware store. We're going to have a little video of us walking through. We talked to some people there. Saw Judy Curtis there. Lots of great information from her. And then we have got the Wonder Wheel for you. So that's what's coming up in episode 65. So we're glad you've joined us. And we hope you will continue to join us. If you don't, okay. So let's move on to, we've got Wisconsin Heights Weekly, or whatever Joe's got in store for us.
As this is coming out on Wednesday, the 12th of July, the elementary school and summer school kids took a week off for the 4th, and now they are back. They are 2 days into their second session of summer school, which is, I believe, 2 more weeks. So that's starting up. So good luck to you all there.
Any of you guys go to summer school ever?
No.
Nope.
Thankfully not.
Did they have summer school?
I think they did, but I don't think it was as big as it is now. In the sense, I think it was just more of some select students that needed to get some work done.
Yeah.
So that's that. And then also, as I was sitting out, I took Roy out this morning, and around 8 o'clock, and I could hear the announcing for the swim meet.
Oh, yeah.
Down at
Barracudas.
I got a video of that. We can maybe show that right now.
You got a video of Joe sitting out with Roy and him hearing the announcement?
Yeah. No. Dad and I went past the community pool. And we're going to show a video right now. My chauffeur. This is where we at, Dad?
We are at the Mazo Community Swimming Pool, and this is a swim meet. You can see it is a big event. Brings a lot of people into the area. A lot of kids are swimming. You can see a number of people there off to the west there. And they have a DJ who does the festivities.
I'm sorry. Little coconut.
Kids, probably ages, I don't know, 8 to 15. All these cars here are parked. There's a parking lot over there. Oh, there's the Mustang where it happens.
Home of the
Hudson,
Stangs.
Drew, Joe, and the song Home of the Stangs. But yeah, big event down here in Mazo. It happens 3 or 4 times a year. They have a big swim meet. So, reporting live from Mazomania on Park Street. Todd and Hudson for the original father-son voiceover podcast.
It was happening.
There's a lot
It's
of
too
people
bad
that
they
go
didn't have
down
a
there.
Mustangs game down there, because that would have been, I mean, just...
I kind of did
that
a
might not
news
have been a
report.
spot.
Did you really?
A man on the street, or in the car in this case. Yeah, there's a lot of people down there. And we did mention, as we drove by, we mentioned the Mustangs.
How could you not?
How could we
that
not?
seems like
That's
it always
Mustang
comes-
Stadium. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then,
Home of Mustangs Manor.
speaking of the Mustangs, we had a good weekend last weekend.
We sure
Yeah.
did. Tell us about that weekend.
So Friday, June 30th, we played Black Earth at Black Earth, and we won 12-6.
Yeah. We weren't going to talk about this, to be honest with you, on Wisconsin's Weekly, but there was a Black Earth fan that
Yep.
begged us, please talk about the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
mhm.
You
We
know,
won't say
so-
his name.
Yeah, but he said, please, could you talk about that
And he was
game?
talking to me during the game. He
Yeah,
said, hey,
that's how
please
much
bring this up.
he said,
bring it up.
please,
Yeah.
we need to hear about
I said,
this.
I don't know if we want that.
I don't know if you guys want that
It's
to
kind of
be
a
aired
conflict
like
of
that.
interest,
Yeah.
but we
Yeah.
thought we got to be a
And
podcast
then he
for
showed up
people.
to our game on Sunday.
He's a
Tuesday.
Wind Wagon
Yeah.
fan.
It's a quality win. 'Cause
Yeah.
Black Earth is a good team.
Yeah.
And I was sitting out in right field with Mom.
Not
Not
in
in
right
right field.
Down
With
the
a
right
glove
field
on.
line.
Yeah.
Out of
No, I
play.
didn't have a glove on.
That actually may have
Seeds in
helped
my
us.
mouth, and I was watching the game, and what was my point?
I don't know.
And I was counting up all the relatives that I had on each team, and I have 7 relatives on the Black Earth team, 7 relatives on the Mazo team.
Wow.
I was not
Mazo Mania-
conflicted because I
Wisconsin's
wanted you
Weekly
guys to
turned
win.
into
'Cause you're my children.
Todd's family tree, just like that.
Oh, yeah, it's a story. It's my story all of a sudden, right? Your win.
Amusing stories.
Yeah.
No,
And by the way, just a shout out to Tim Dewar, who watches all the time. He came over and talked with me. I went to high school with Tim. He was out off to the
Out of play, right field.
on the right
the
field
right
with some
field
friends, and he talked to me about another classmate that we're going to try to have on via Zoom. Maybe his name is Will Royster. He has a amazing story. He's got like 5 or 6 things that you could write a book. Each one of those things. It's amazing story. He's a pilot. He was a pilot in the Air Force, and he spent, I think, like 5 or 8 months in a Chinese jail prison
Whoa.
Oh my!
because of some things. Anyway,
Well, this is
boom.
the tease right there.
That's back to the Black Earth. It was a quality win for you guys because they're a quality team.
Yep. And then on the 4th, we started the fireworks early,
Yep.
and we won 12-1 against Richland Center, the Rockets. It was just and I think are they red, white, and blue as well?
Their colors.
Yeah.
No.
They're
red and-
now they're black and blue.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys beat them up pretty good.
Yeah.
And so then this coming Sunday, the 16th, we have fan appreciation, and we play at home against Cavs.
What time is that?
That's the last
What
home.
time is
That's
that?
the last home game of the season,
Yeah, it's like senior
Regular
night.
season.
unless
What-
we get a playoff home game.
What time does that start?
That is at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
But we also have a game. This will come out after. This will come out after the game on Sunday. But we played at Reedsburg. Big game. Reedsburg Pirates.
But back to Cavs,
Oh.
that's a fan appreciation. And if you're just a fan that hears about it here, you can come down and watch the game and hang around afterwards for food and beverage brats and stuff like that, and meet the players and hang out with us.
Meet the podcast as well.
You meet the
we'll have a
podcast,
separate
yeah.
table
Double.
from the
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
maybe have our banner up or
Maybe
something
we'll
like that.
get some memorabilia together and have some signings.
yeah.
Well, could.
Yeah.
we could.
I'm
We
fair.
got 6 shirts.
Yep.
And that's it.
Then
Be careful of writer's cramp.
after this
Writer block.
after this comes out, the Thursday after this comes out, we play Sauk at home at 6:15.
Thursday night league
Yep.
game.
And get to that one because then the next couple weeks are all away.
On the road.
On the road again.
It's really going to test
Our
those young
innards.
Mustangs.
Yeah.
The young ones.
I'm watching.
Remember the young ones.
So that is
That has been an edition.
Mazomani,
No.
Mustangs, Wisconsin Heights Weekly,
He saved himself. there.
Barracuda's briefing, and yeah.
The swim meets, which they must have several, 3, 4. Those bring a lot of people into town. There's a
Yeah.
lot of people. I know Michelle down at 1855 gets a lot of business. I imagine that they patronize other stores as well.
I think
other
so.
things.
Subway.
Yeah. Dollar General.
Dollar General, probably.
Family
It's
Dollar.
not up
General.
yet.
Not yet, but they will.
Yep.
I guess it's time to move on to Mazomani.
You mean Sightwise?
Yeah.
Oh, let me say,
What do you got, Johnny?
So let's go over since 1855 is our sponsor, we should go over their July latte flavors since we haven't gone over those yet. So just available in July is there's 2 flavors, berries and cream and salted banana toffee.
Salted banana toffee is a repeat of a
Somebody said
previous month because it's
A favorite.
a lot of people liked it. It
A
sold
latte.
out. A latte.
Latte
They
favorite.
liked it a latte
She got a bigger jug this time, too,
Yeah.
I think.
because it sold out, I think, in like the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a very good.
That would seem like that would not be very good.
Yeah.
I just when you hear the flavors,
I
but
haven't tried it
obviously,
yet.
it must be good.
I got to sit next to Michelle von Schindig at the baseball game.
Did you?
the other day. She kind of took over and just said, "I'm not going to sit where everybody else sits. I'm going to sit on the bench with
Players
everybody else.
bench.
Sitting with the
And
players.
she said, well, there's shade here.
Yeah.
I'm a big deal here in Mazo. I'm going to sit underneath the shade. And I don't care if I take one of the players' spots. I'm
Michelle
sitting there.
Van
That's what she said verbatim.
Shade Ding.
Yep.
Well, some
Is
people
it?
buy, press box.
Yep.
When you have that kind of money.
Luxury box
when
seats,
you're a big deal around town, you get those kind of perks.
So I said, Michelle,
you get right up
you
by
basically
the
can do what
players.
you want around here. But
Security.
I'm not going to
Security.
argue with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely not going to argue with
Oh,
Scott.
because she had her bodyguard there,
Yeah.
Scott.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess
Scott
with
would
I wouldn't mess with
beat,
Scott.
beat the pulp out of me.
Yeah.
So I just said, you know what? Listen, I don't think that's legal what you're doing, but I'll let it happen.
I'm gonna turn a blind eye.
Yep.
Yep. And then not. Let me go back here. Let's go to the trivia night tomorrow night at the Iron Hop Tap House. And that is. I didn't see the time on that, so I will get back to you on the time.
Question mark to question mark.
Well, you'll have to look at Mazo. What's happening? What's happening? Mazo.
There you go. Yep.
To find out the time, but the theme is Marvel, so I'm assuming the movies
Yes.
Marvel puts out will be the theme. So if you
Like
want to get your
Batman
team
and-
together,
Batman and Superman.
yep.
That's DC,
That's
Joe.
DC.
Don't do
Get
that.
out of here, Joe.
Scott would not be happy with me.
No,
That's
he
what I
wouldn't.
mean.
Maybe Scott will be there doing some
Might be.
trivia.
Then Friday the 14th, we're gonna go back to the Iron Hop Tap House, and from 7 to 9 p.m. Central Time, Sean Michael Dargan will be performing music-wise.
He the guy with the guitar?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just pitch your
I
tent.
think he's
Spend the night.
been there before.
Okay.
So back by popular demand.
Yep. Lastly, not this Saturday, but the 22nd, the following Saturday, there's Glow Swim Pool Party. They have those like glow sticks. Do it at night when it's dark, I guess.
So it seems and follow.
Yep.
It's got to be like
Down at the
8
Mazo
o'clock.
Pool,
Turn the lights off.
8 p.m. to 9:30 Central Time.
Oh.
Only
Cost-
an hour and a half.
Yeah, I know. And not much time in the dark there, I don't think.
Although I tell you what, I've gone down to the pool a couple times, like when they have their 7 to 8 last hour swim. Jump in around 7 o'clock and, you feel like you're kind of doing a fair amount. And then all of a sudden you turn around, look at the clock, it's 7:20. Go, wow, I got 40 minutes left and I don't know what to do.
There you spent your buck, too. So,
I know.
Being
so
from
you
a
may as well-
Norwegian, you
right,
gotta-
you may
you
as well
gotta-
just enjoy it.
yeah.
Then you say, hey, can we get some free swim? Yeah. Try to get those kids out of the.
were adopted by the dog.
10 foot.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it.
Yeah, I try to get those kids off the diving board that aren't doing anything. They're not even doing any tricks. They're just running off.
Did all you guys have the 10-foot? 10,
Oh, yeah.
Not the high
10
dive.
foot
if that's
high,
what you're
high
talking-
dive?
No, I did not.
Oh, you did?
I remember, yeah, Johnny and I, we'd go down every
When
once
did
in a
you go
while.
down?
Huh?
Because it might have been there. I just wasn't there.
That doesn't make any sense to his question then.
Well, I might have been alive when it was still down there.
Yeah,
Well,
but
were
do
you swimming?
remember it?
Were you able to? Did you go off of it?
I don't recall.
Did you
It was
go off of
September.
the
I went off a
high
high
dive?
dive once, I remember.
Okay.
I didn't go off. You
John.
went off? How?
It's okay.
How's that?
I was able to jump. I think Dad or I don't know if you were down there with Trent and Kathy, our uncles, and I jumped our uncle. I was gonna say Tim and those guys as well, but we jumped off of there.
Our uncles.
So,
Tough.
All right, no, it's just I'm just
uncle
a
and aunt.
surprise. Just
Yeah.
surprised you did that.
That he got up there.
Yeah, because that's big.
it was big.
What'd
Yeah.
you say?
Cannonball.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
That's a
No.
print. That's good.
Pocahontas.
To finish
Mama.
out here, the cost
Mama.
is $7 per person, or $25 for a family of 4.
Okay.
Each additional. So if you have more, like if you were us and we were going down as a family, and we want to. Each person is $5.
Additional person.
Additional person.
Okay.
Okay.
How many
So-
glow sticks do you get?
I'm not sure. Hopefully a fair amount.
$25 you're saving for $3?
Sure.
Well, you could just do.
What a savings.
Somebody's just doing math.
Drew.
Sure you don't want us to bust some tables?
Guess we're even.
I guess we're even.
So, yeah, that's July 22nd down at the old Mazo
Hey,
pool.
we just call it like we see.
Well, I guess I'm a little confused.
Maybe they'd let you go in for 2 families worth of 4, and maybe that would be, I don't know if that would save you any money.
I ask them, listen,
would.
what happens if I don't take a shower?
Yeah, true.
Saving you on that.
It'd save you
4 times
$6.
32, 30.
Yeah, it'd save you
Yeah,
another
$6.
person.
I'm bringing my own towel.
Yeah. Well, that's it for me, because I know that we've got a load of more stuff to talk about with Mazo Sightwise.
What do you have? You have anything? Of course he does.
I don't have anything specifically, but I will save this right toward the end. So remind me, our guest list, and these are people that have said they're going to be on the program, on the podcast
program. Yeah.
So at the end, I'll bring that up. But let's go to our.
Quick question? Have we ever announced on here the work that's being done at WIC?
Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about here.
That was last. That was 2 weeks ago.
Dad
Talked about
his
that.
roundies done?
Oh yeah, is Roundy's parking lot the lights at Roundy's done?
Yeah.
They're still working
It's
on
Kroger now.
Did they get the lights put up? On,
No, Christmas lights go up
Christmas
around
lights.
Thanksgiving. We'll talk about that.
John, we'll talk about that for several weeks.
Yeah.
But let's go to the monitor here, and see.
Talk about your trip a little bit here.
First, we'll talk about Mazo Sightwise, and then before we go to our adventures with Roy from Elroy, we will talk. Now,
we're not going to your trip. We're going to wait for that.
Let me set this up real quickly. So, we weren't going to have a podcast, which we didn't have a podcast last week because we gave you a break, remember? But we just couldn't help ourselves. We had to have a Mazo Sightwise.
So who jumped on? It was myself.
You and I and Hudson.
Hudson
talked about
jumped on
the
the mic.
and the 3 biggies was the WIC parking lot.
Yep.
The Family Dollar
Construction.
the destruction of the wood
lot.
area on Highway
Deforestation.
14, and then the whatever it says, the 8-plex or townhouses or something on the corner of Emily and Reeve Road, 1 block south of Highway 14, and so we had video on that last week. So check that out if you'd like to.
And then we talked about the 4th of July stuff too.
And just this is something that we haven't talked with you guys. I'll get back to that in a second. Just a rabbit hole real quickly.
Sure.
I said to a couple of you when we were over in Michigan, I said, our podcast should be kind of chronicling things around Mazo, because like the Mazomania Historical Society took our video, our podcast of Dick Royston, because he talked about all the things down in Mazo.
Mayor Dick Royston.
And these are things that Mazo's changing right before your eyes. And if you're my age or older, you can't always remember how things looked or what they were like. And so we're giving this, we're a gift.
We
are
like a gift to me.
We're a gift to Mazo, chronicling some of these things, both verbally,
oral history, and video history,
or pictorial
We're
history.
a part of history.
We're being Mazo's memory and eyes.
Yes. Yeah. And so last week we did that, and so we're just giving an update. It's just pictures right now. So let's flash the pictures. Let's look first at the WIC parking lot.
Oh no,
we don't have that.
Did you send them to us?
Yeah.
Or did you send them to
Well, what's
the
that up there?
That's
That's
construction.
construction.
by-
Okay, let's go to that.
Let's go to that. Yeah.
Well,
Trouble.
yeah.
That is the construction that is happening on the corner of Reeve and Emily. And you can see the mounds, the big mounds, and behind those safety fences is a trench about, it's the length of the building that it's going to be there, very long, and it's also maybe 8 to 10 feet deep. And so that little sign right there, and we appreciate it. It talks about a trench and the danger there. See that danger sign?
Deep trench, I think it says.
Yeah. So that's important that you have that sign up. And is that all the pictures that you have?
That's
Correct.
all we have.
Okay, so Demond, our audiovisual
Maybe he can put
producer,
something
is
on
going
there.
to put this picture up here, and this is the WIC You guys can't see it in the studio,
see it.
but
I'm right here.
You're with it.
I'm
Just
visualizing
drink it in. This is the Wick parking lot, and now it's finished. And you can see to the west side is a beautiful blacktop parking lot with the brand new, they always look so pristine. It's got white lines on the beautiful black pavement. But then over half of it, Joe's visualizing. Over half of it now, that used to be blacktop asphalt, is now that grass pad that they're going to, that seating there. So once again, just showing the difference. That used to be a parking lot. Pretty soon it's going to be green space. Important. Environmental.
What are they going to do there?
Wick buildings, environmentally sound.
Green space.
They're what do they call that? They're
restoring.
Thank you. Restoring the prairie there.
I wonder if that's what they're probably in that mode, just like the people that want to restore the prairie on the bluff.
Yeah.
So again, just reporting.
Yeah.
We're not making judgments. We're just reporting the facts, chronicling.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening at Wick, and probably by the end of this fall, they'll be mowing that grass. Well, if we ever get any rain, because they're not going to water it. But that'll look real nice. So nice job, Wick. And I can't remember what company did it for them, did all the work. But anyway, a good job to them. Shout out whoever they are. And then this picture is where we're at on the highway, Highway 14, U.S. Highway 14, just 3 or 4 stone throws from the Dollar General. They're going to be putting up a Family Dollar. I know a lot of you are still wondering why. So are we. Why? But we're just reporting the facts. We're not making any judgments here. And so this picture shows all the cleanup work. And I don't know when the Family Dollar is going to actually be built.
When groundbreaking happens.
When groundbreaking and when the estimated time of opening is. Maybe somebody has more information than we do. But I just wanted to get you updated, and we'll keep you updated as we go throughout the days, weeks, and months that follow.
Okay, so then we've got, is that all for you?
It's all for me on the Mazo Sightwise.
Are we going to do you want me to do what Mom and I did this morning? Just talk about it.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you do that now, and then we'll come back and we'll talk just a little bit about our trip, and then we'll get on with the show.
So there's nothing there for you. But Damon's going to play a video. Mom and I went to Going Loco with the Locals over at Mazo Hardware this morning. So we'll play that video for you right now. So we are here down at Going Loco with the Locals, checking out all of the booths here, all sorts of things. There's Judy Curtis. Morning. Hello. How are you guys? You don't mind if we record you, do you?
Hi, Gail. How are you?
I'm sorry. It's very good. Nikki, how are you? Good, thanks. This is a familiar setup here.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks. This is my mom.
Hi, Kristen.
She's the Iron Hop Tap House, if you couldn't tell.
Yes. Nice to meet you.
We're just getting some video of everything here for the podcast, so checking everything out. Look at all these walking sticks. Very cool. Made out of all sorts of different things.
So the drawing is today at the event.
Hi. Joe. Morning. Morning. This is being held at the Mazo Hardware store. What do you think, Mom?
I think it's looking great.
You think it's looking great?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. We're just shooting some stuff for our podcast.
Oh, fun. Nice. Yeah, see? Hardware clean.
Yep.
Oh. Yeah.
Let's get that.
Still.
Okay. There we go.
The queen is in the house.
Yeah, uh-huh. How many years have you guys done this now?
I think 10.
10 years?
At least 10. Yeah.
Looks
I
like
think
a...
we just missed COVID.
Sure.
But, yeah, we've done it otherwise, so.
Looks like you've got a fair... Is this the biggest one you've had, or have there been bigger? Do you not know? What do you think?
I'd say it looks pretty big.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
We had a few vendors kind of come in last minute, so
Okay.
I think we ended up with 35 vendors, which is what we had last year.
Okay,
So,
nice.
Yeah, we've got people that look forward to it, and like I said, we don't charge anybody to be here. It's can you give us $20 to say that you're going to? Because we found if we didn't ask them to pay, then they didn't show up. So then we had a lot of no shows. So then we just said, give us $20, and once you're set up, we'll give you your $20 back, and everybody shows up that way.
Nice.
So, I mean, we learn every year, learn new things. So, but I don't know, it's a fun morning, and I ordered perfect weather. So.
Yeah, that's good, yeah. You asked that the weather would be bad last night, not this morning.
Yeah.
Just there was some rain last night.
There were
so.
some sprinkles.
I didn't even hear it. I had my slider open in my.
Oh no, it was early. It was when I left here. There was sprinkling on my way home, and more rain in Verona.
We saw some celebrities there. We got to see Yvette and Renee. She's the owner of the hardware store.
Yeah.
We
Did you
talked
talk
to her.
with her?
Yep.
Good.
Recorded her talking.
Nice.
It was kind of nice kind of a little impromptu.
Did she even know we had a podcast?
I don't know.
Okay.
Does now.
She's heard.
I was too busy being the cameraman.
She's not well versed.
But there was 35 vendors there from around Mazo. We got to saw
vendors,
Kristen
wow.
and Jacob from the Iron Hop Tap House. Charles, who's part of the Lions Club. He owns the church now. I'm not sure if it's the one that's...
This was the Conservancy?
I don't know. No, it's the other one. I think that's
Jerry
Jerry and John.
the
Jerry
former
and Jeff.
United Methodist Church,
They
right
live in
by
there.
the old Mazo grade school.
Yeah. And we saw Callie Handel and Bridger from Handlebar Performance. Aaron was working hard, so he wasn't there. And then we saw Judy Curtis. I met Wendy Sherman.
Oh, good.
We talked with her.
Good.
And
She's going to be a
forward.
guest.
Fun fact here, she told us, and Wendy
did.
That's what I was talking about. Wendy, we were talking to her, and she said that she is a retired opera singer. So that's something we'll have to talk about when. So we're gonna anyway.
Hudson's gonna try to out opera.
No, sole mio.
Nope, I wouldn't try that.
But we said it, so we don't just say things just to say things.
Yeah,
as if that's not your reputation.
That's true. And then we talked to Judy Curtis for a long time. Saw Michael Lohr. He was down there. Haven't seen him in a while. Previous owner of
Mike's Mix.
Well, I think he still owns Mike's Mix, but Mix It Up Fitness. But we were talking to her. We didn't record her because we didn't want to put her in a tough position. But there are some bricks that they're making a planter out of a rose that came from England. That they have a rose bush or something like that. They're going to put it in. That was the bricks were from the old either. I don't know if it was the old historical society building or it was the part of the old train station depot. Thank you.
Wow.
That they're making it out of. They were going to throw away John Wick 2. Put them away, kept them so that they were going to crush them up and stuff like that. Anyway, those are some things that are coming up. Those are some things we talked about. So it was a good turnout and a nice day. Yeah. Very nice day. Kind of a late August, early September feeling day in the middle of July. beginning of July. Anyway.
Thanks for going over and doing that. That's nice.
And they
good.
were saying how we should have a booth next time.
Oh.
And so that might be something, either the podcast or
Hudson Barsness voiceover talent.
And Todd Boyceness.
They
Todd
could
Barsness.
just come and hear you talk.
You know, you should set up.
People
like,
pay money for your voice. You could just talk and put a little change thing out there, and they could throw money at you just to hear you talk.
Like the old, you used to go and the radio guys would be on at the state fair.
Oh, yeah.
You and HUD could see if you could be on 92.1 or 92.7.
92.5.
92.5. See if you could be on Mazo's FM radio there.
Yeah. We'll have to talk to Jim Schrader.
There you go.
Anyway, it was kind of fun to go see that. And there's a lot. I mean, there were a lot of people there. It
was insane. Yeah.
So if you missed it this year, go check it out. Going Loco with the Locals 2024. That's what it'll be next year. So anyway, there it is.
I think that's all for Mazo Sightwise. We were just going to get you a real quick update on our trip to Michigan because that's one of the reasons we didn't have a podcast. That's what we did. Everybody but Demond and Deshaun went. Drew, Joe, and we all left on Saturday morning early. Well, that would be a week and a half ago now. And you guys stayed until Monday.
Yes.
That was the Mustang crew, Drew, Joe, and Hudson, and then they came back on Monday. And these pictures all took place Monday afternoon. We went to Grand Haven State Park, which is right along the coast, if you know. It's Lake Michigan on the Michigan side. And that's where Becky's family is from, Grand Rapids. So it's about a 45-minute trip over to Rosie Mounds State Park. And the group that was over there, why don't you show the group that was over there? This is the picture at a lookout. Right over, you can see Mom. She's the smallest one that's not a child. She's got the hat on next to Johnny. Right over her left shoulder is Lake Michigan. Looks like kind of a mountain, but it's really Lake Michigan. See the blue there right over?
It's right over here.
Well, it's down just a little ways. Yep, over there. And then, and that's Uncle Head, Brian. That's my brother-in-law, and he was my buddy in college and stuff. We played basketball, and then we did radio together. Johnny's right next to him, and then Mom. And then Allie is my kind of niece-in-law. Josh is my nephew. He's got the hat on backwards. And this is Kim. That's Brian's. She belongs to Brian, the tall one on the left. And then there's
his wife. That's Mom's sister.
Yeah, Mom's sister, next youngest sister. And then there's Jake or Jigs. Nickname is Jigs Headinga.
Jigs Headinga. He doesn't know that, but he called me Jonathan, and he calls Dad Todd, and so we just
we gave him a nickname, Jigs. And
Jigs Headinga.
And then that's Thea, their daughter. So we had a nice time with them. It's probably, what do you think, Jonathan? It's probably almost a mile walk.
Yep.
Up, down stairs, some pretty steep stairs, and but nice. I mean, it's a very nice path. And it's a beautiful place.
But one caveat, if you go there, beautiful. But make sure you pay for your parking. Because there are people, they
take it serious.
They take it very seriously, your parking. There's a guy that walks around and checks your license plates. He even came up to us. There was a line of people, 4 or 5 deep, that were waiting to pay because you pay at a kiosk kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, hey, just so you know, have you guys checked in yet? Or tell me what car you're in, because he's making sure that, he doesn't charge you yet, but if you don't pay, he's going to charge you. And he was walking around a lot, making sure people pay.
Yeah.
So pay at the kiosk. Don't try to get by with it if you don't see somebody out there, because somebody will be out there to check it.
Very serious.
It was probably 82, 85 degrees that day. But when you got to this spot,
nice
the cool breeze of the lake made it probably 10 degrees cooler right there. So this is the group that went to the beach and swam a little bit, and they were just on their way back. Little did they know, Grandma Nebel, Mom's mother, who's 83, going to be 84 in October, she and I were just going to hang out back by the car, by the place where you wait. We were just going to wait for them. But Sharon Nebel, Becky's mom, insisted that we go for a walk. And so we just kept walking, and I kept saying to her, Sharon, maybe we should stop now. You're probably getting tired. Nope, wanted to keep walking. So we went up the steps, took a little break, went up more steps, went down steps, all over the place. And so show the picture there of, that's the same lookout. That's the same lookout.
Yep.
Almost close to the beach, where we went a half a mile up and down stairs and on a path, and Sharon is toasting us there. And then we had to get back, but she did great. I mean, amazing.
That water sponsors her. That's why
she doesn't even look like she's sweaty or tired.
No, she wasn't.
I was not
invigorated.
And she kept asking me on the way back if I was doing okay, like she was going to help me somehow. She was getting really confident, which was nice to see. Anyway, she's a go-getter, and there we are at one of the places, a little selfie. She's smiling and giving us a little wave. So that was our little adventure, Sharon and mine, as we took quite a while. It was about an hour trip there and back for she and I, but she did a great job.
Nice.
And then the next day on 4th of July, we went to Chris and Scott, which is Becky's oldest sister. And there's Captain Steve, or Scott. He's about 6'6", over 250. He's a huge man. And he has a pontoon boat. And he took us on Lake Burgess, which is up by Greenville, Michigan, north of Grand Rapids. And Sharon and I are maxing and relaxing there. And Jonathan and I went on a tube. Scott pulled us behind there. And Becky and I did, and Becky and Christy did, her oldest sister. So we had a great time.
Nice.
And Sharon
Scott's really focused on he's camping.
Yeah.
Or camping. He's captaining the boat. Yeah. And he's making sure you guys don't run into anything there. He's serious.
He and Christy were great host and hostess. We had tacos together. Just had an all-around great time in Michigan.
For Michelle, there's our cousin, Scott Banta.
Scott Banta.
Yep.
Your uncle.
She's got relatives that are Bantas.
With the last name Banta.
Wow. Yep. There's Scott Banta. So that was just a real quick highlight of some of our trip. Any of you guys got anything to add?
I got nothing. That was great.
What can you add to that?
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. All right. We have got our adventures of Roy with Elroy still to go. It's been a long first segment, but you guys have
stuck with us.
Been forced to stick through it. So we'll move on to the exciting adventures with Roy from Elroy.
Roy, 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 Roy.
And now, another edition of The Adventures of Roy from Elroy.
Sounds like, so he was with Damon and Deshawn. Sounds like he did all right, but his nights were a little rough, according to Damon. He got up whining a little bit. He wasn't used to.
Damon's nights were rough, or Roy's nights were rough?
Probably both.
Both.
But Damon was a trooper and stuck with it.
Yeah.
Slept out on the couch, I think, because we brought the kennel that he sleeps in over here to my parents' place, and he stayed there in the kennel, but there was some loose rules with that since he was being a little bit of a heifer. So
well, you're a heifer.
So he got to hang out with Damond, and that went well overall. And it's nice because for us as the dog owners, Joe, Drew, and I, that he's able to stay with somebody like Damond because Damond does a good job, and he's used to Damond. He might not be used to sleeping at our parents' house, but he's used to Demond, and so it wasn't that drastic of a change for him, like putting, letting him be with somebody else or having him, what do they call it, boarded or whatever.
Yeah, boarded.
So that's nice. Not
Two
to
for
have
boarding.
Doggy boarding school.
So it's nice to have that option. But
We still don't necessarily trust him, not like he's going to be like real naughty or anything like that. He's still young enough that we don't trust him to be dog sat by somebody else. So that's why Demond Deshawn stayed home. I mean,
some of the reason, yep.
Yeah, that he just still is needing some
Tender love and care.
Yeah, TLC.
Yep.
So
One of the things that just so you know, Roy's the main man. I mean, he's our dog. But we have noticed, you can see by that picture, he has some big paws. And he had big paws until just, it seems like a month or so ago. And like he's just kind of quickly grown into it. But he's not as big a dog as we thought he was
he's kind
going
of
to be.
topped out right now.
Yeah.
But what is he, 8 months old?
Yeah.
Still got
I don't
4
know.
So
months
he's
to
still
grow.
got 4 months. Hopefully those are a good 4 months for him because he is a squatty puppy right now. He's-
Yeah, we had a dog growing up named Kobe that was quite a bit bigger, so it's kind of hard to taller. Yeah, so it's hard to kind of.
He was.
Well, what was he? 120 pounds.
Well,
yeah,
that
he
was-
shouldn't have been,
that was
but
an
he was
accident.
probably
But he was
a 100
tall.
pound dog.
Yeah, he was tall.
A lab. Yeah.
We should get a picture of Chemo, Sabi.
Yeah. Ruben Borgen's
dog. Because once again,
Ruben
we
and
saw him
Patty.
down at the park, and he is huge.
Should get a picture of he and Roy next
his
to each
face
other.
is
Yeah.
just, his head is just.
He's
massive.
105 pounds,
Yeah.
is what Ruben said, and he's the biggest golden retriever I've ever seen. And
Well, and
not
even
like
with
I've been
golden
around
retrievers,
thousands,
though,
but
too. I mean, he's big, but then he's really hairy, and so
Yeah.
he looks like he's
he
even
looks
thicker
like
than
his
he
head
is.
looks like a lion.
Yeah, his head is just huge.
Yep.
Roy's
But
gonna-
Roy's a smaller dog. His
I am
parents
too.
were 70 and 80 pounds, female and male. I don't know. I mean, he's gonna have to get up. I mean, they typically dogs, get broader for the first couple of years. I don't know how much taller he's going to be, but he'll I don't know what he weighs, maybe 60 pounds now. He'll probably be 70, 75 pounds if he.
He maybe lost some weight, but he was, when he had his surgery, he was 62 and a half.
Oh, okay.
But
Got it.
Maybe he
Now he's
was on-
62.
Yeah.
He's lost a half a pound, maybe.
But that's about it.
He likes to, when I water the garden, he likes to jump up and try to get the water out of the hose with his
Yeah.
mouth.
What vegetables does he eat?
He eats peas.
You gonna eat your peas?
You gonna eat your peas? Eat your peas. And then he'll eat. He eats strawberries. He eats
Vegetables, though.
raspberries.
You said vegetables, Joe.
Not fruits.
Yep,
It's okay.
well,
I'm
there's-
with you.
We're dabbling in other areas too.
Does he eat tomatoes too? Because that's also a fruit.
He hasn't. We haven't gotten any tomatoes for him to eat. I bet you he'll eat cucumbers probably, and beans.
That's
probably.
one thing that he's quite a bit different from Kobe. He does not discriminate. Kobe didn't. There were certain things Kobe didn't like to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe was pining for the better things in life.
Yeah, Roy
But
has the
Roy
better
has
things
the
in
better-
life.
That's true,
He eats
but
high
he
on the
eats-
hog.
He
Roy
tries
eats
to
whatever.
Get different things in his diet.
Yeah.
Kobe wouldn't eat apples. Roy eats apples.
No.
Kobe wouldn't eat vegetables.
That's because
Roy eats whatever.
That's because he's
Kobe
got
wouldn't
better
bite.
parents.
No.
Hudson and
bites.
Mom were
Roy
were
bites.
Kobe's parents.
Roy
and you just
Destroy
were-
is what I call him.
Yeah, the destroyer, Royer, destroyer.
Destroy.
There we go.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Well, there it is. The Adventures of Roy from Elroy. We do have T-shirts that have him on there. If you want one, get a hold of us. So there you have it. All right. We will be right back. We'll give you a break for a second, and then we will be back with the Wonder Wheel.
Here's Becky and her sister Krusty in Burgess Lake. Ranger Steve is captain of the boat today. Starting them out slow. Uh-oh, there we go.
we're back, and we are just going to do a quick Wonder Wheel for you, since that was a long Mazomanie, Wisconsin Heights trip, and then Roy from Elroy. So, Dad, what is today's Wonder Wheel topic?
Well, you have to spin because we have 4 choices.
What are the 4 choices? Can we hear what the 4 choices are?
No.
Yeah, gotcha there.
What did we get, Joe?
3.
3, please.
3. Let's see. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, 1.
Okay. And this is why I teased. You didn't even know I was teasing it. But I teased it when I asked Roy back in the last segment what vegetables Roy will eat. See? Right up here, the steel trap. Here's the question. Your favorite summer garden vegetable that you like to eat. I'm not talking about getting something from, Woodman's or Costco or,
Is this something from Happy Valley?
It's got to be a garden, something local, to this area. You can't say
papaya.
You can't say something like that.
Like Happy Valley Farms.
Something we grow in our garden, or Happy
Something
Valley
that can
with
be
Kate
grown.
What we grow from our garden is from Happy Valley Farms.
That's true.
Yep.
Not all
but
of them,
that's
though.
also Happy Valley Farms is in Wisconsin
Because they have other things that we don't have in our. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Joe, stick to
Favorite,
the
if you had a choice, say you can give 2 if you want, but your favorite, like if you have to choose out of my garden or somebody else's garden in Wisconsin.
I feel like
Kate
that's
and Kevin
fairly,
Lucy's.
fairly straightforward.
Yep.
I want to.
Mine would be I buy some plants from Kevin at Happy Valley Farms, and I get what are called Mountain Fresh Plus tomatoes, which are a nice round tomato. They're about that big.
They're very aesthetically pleasing.
Yep. They're easy to pick, and they don't bruise very easily
or crack.
Or crack. And I like being able to pick one of those and just put some salt and pepper on it and eat it at your own leisure.
Have you ever had sugar on your tomatoes? No. Anybody like sugar on their
I'm not
tomatoes?
interested in that.
Okay.
No.
Hey, other question about tomatoes. I grew up with only one color tomato,
What is
red.
the question?
But there are green tomatoes, and they're not just green tomatoes that aren't quite fully ripened, like all of them are. And there are purple tomatoes. Does that
yellow?
bother you? Yellow? Yeah.
Taxi.
Does it bother you to eat those mentally, or can you just?
I mean, I'm not a big fan of like green ketchup or purple ketchup. I'm not a big fan of that.
That's
Heinz did that for a while.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
does it do something with your mind?
It doesn't necessarily throw me off. Just because I've been around at Kevin's and stuff, you just got used to seeing like pink and
That's not a hurdle for him.
It doesn't. It does. I don't like eating. Just like I don't care for like yellow and red-ish peppers. I want green peppers. I know there's slight differences in tastes with all the tomatoes and stuff, but it's something mental about all those years growing up with green peppers or red tomatoes. I don't like eating purple tomatoes. I didn't know if it bothered you guys. Nope.
not
big
really.
deal. Okay.
But yeah, and then you can make salsa out of them and different things like that. So I like that. I like having tomato.
So tomatoes would be your top one. Okay.
For so many reasons he gave us. So many reasons.
I liked it.
Go ahead, husband.
All right, my favorite by far are Yukon Gold potatoes. Those we'd get those from the Lucy farm, Happy Valley Farms, where Joe and I, Drew and John, and even the little boys, Damon and Deshaun, and mom worked. Some of us more than others, just because that's how it goes sometimes. But those are the ones. Those are the things that if I had, I don't care for tomatoes. I don't like a lot of vegetables, which is probably a problem. But Yukon Gold, potatoes are my favorite. They're
good.
They're very good, and I would start my garden with potatoes if I like potatoes.
They'd be in your starting lineup.
Do you still eat your salsa just by using the paste?
Yeah, dabbing.
Instead of getting
That's my favorite way to do it. Yep.
Do you ever eat them?
What I will do is I do like it. Like I really like the really minced. I don't like the big chunks of like peppers. And
You don't like the salsa.
I don't
We've
care
had,
for.
we've had chunky salsa one time, and
You don't like
he
salsa,
gets a
you just
thing
like
of
the-
it.
yeah.
I've seen him, and he
Just
just
dip it in.
dips the whole time.
I
There's
don't
just a
care
bunch of
for-
salsa left.
I'm kind of picky because like I don't like onions that have been sautéed.
Would you like onion soup?
I do, but I like
I
raw
like peas.
onions. So I don't necessarily care for the texture. Big texture guy. Anyway, that's me.
JB.
So I'm not gonna be like Joe.
Yukon Gold potatoes.
Good
Yeah.
choice. Both of you, good choice.
Very good
Johnny,
choice.
let's hear yours.
Wait a second. You said I'm not going to be like Joe. And what?
You asked so many weird questions to start us off. It was literally, what is your favorite vegetable? You said, well, I get mine from, and it's like,
Was that a question?
what is your favorite vegetable?
Well, I had to
Say it out
explain.
loud and
I was
proud.
going to explain what type it
But
was.
it took
'cause
you
What if I
forever.
just say, hey, I just get Mountain Fresh plus tomatoes? People are going to be like, what are Mountain Fresh plus tomatoes?
No, but
Tomatoes.
you said, well, I buy mine from whatever, and
He
you
just
just
gets paid on the side. He probably has some sort of side thing because of this
True.
podcast. He gets something from Happy Valley
somebody's
Farms.
stealing my.
They're a sponsor
Are
of
they
me.
a sponsor
candy,
under the table sponsor of Joe?
Go.
Yep. Under this
I would
table.
do.
Would you eat the moon if it was made of ribs? It's a simple question. That's what I was saying.
Would you?
I'm confused.
It's a simple question, Doctor. Would you eat the moon if it were made of ribs?
Well, I don't know how to answer that.
It's not rocket science. Just say yes and we'll move on.
Yes.
I would do cucumbers, and not
Really?
because I really like
Oh,
cucumbers.
I know where you're going with this.
But we make homemade dill pickles out of those, and those are really good.
Mm-hmm.
And these aren't dill pickles. These aren't dill pickles that take like a month.
No, 3 days,
to
4 days.
Mm-hmm. To
cure.
cure.
To get the sauce and everything into the.
So there's more
they are
cucumber in
good.
it than
Sean likes those
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, those are really good.
You got some
make them by the
cucumbers?
barrel.
Yeah, we
Making
got
some cucumbers?
Oh, a lot of
cucumbers.
cucumbers.
Yeah,
cucumbers.
You know what I don't like like sometimes people would get the big cucumbers,
Yeah,
big seeds,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then they'd make pickles on. I don't like that. I like that small ones. You guys like the little ones?
You'd
or-
always go like
Yeah,
this.
whatever ones make those
This
pickles.
long, he would
Yeah.
say. About 6 to 8 inches is
Yeah.
what you
Kevin
wanted.
would always tell us how
Well,
in the
this
mornings.
big.
In the mornings, he would tell us to go and cut
zucchini or
and squash and
cucumbers.
cucumbers. And he'd say how big, and he'd go,
Oh, about this big. You'd go, and it was
don't
always
go
the
much
same.
bigger than this. And then
You'd
you're
come
like,
back
then
and
you go
you'd-
down there, and you're like, oh no.
You'd come back with some that were a little bit longer, and he'd say, "Oh," and he'd
Yeah.
say, "I don't know if that's the right size." It's like, come on.
So then you just take the knife and cut it.
Yeah,
off.
throw them to the sheep.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Did you say?
Nope. You want me to?
He's gonna say last.
Oh, you're the big
I don't
finish.
know.
you
No,
want
I
the
don't
big
have to be.
finish.
I don't have to be.
But he has to be.
There's a
I
fair
got a
amount.
bunch of stories
I
to
know.
tell.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
There's a fair amount of, like, especially with Happy Valley Farms, there's a fair amount of the vegetables that I like, but I would probably say the little red potatoes.
I like
The
those
Yukon Golds are really good as
So
well.
they have Yukon Gold, Cannabec, and then there's one other. I don't know what.
Red.
There's
Oh,
little
they
red
just call them
potatoes.
red. Okay,
Yeah,
there you go. That's pretty simple.
Those were
I
kind
like,
of fun.
I like the little red potatoes because I like getting 3 or 4 of those babies and smashing them up. And
some butter on.
I liked. I didn't mind, other than having to carry the heavy.
wait, are we going around a second time?
I was adding to your story.
Go ahead.
This has been the Joe wheel.
I'm just bringing content to the group. I didn't mind.
Sorry.
Planting the potatoes.
Oh, okay.
Minus having to carry the big the
5-gallon pail.
5-gallon pail of dried fish guts,
Yeah.
the fertilizer for it that you'd put in there. I didn't mind that because then you'd throw them down and stomp on them and then throw the fertilizer in there or whatever it was called.
All right, John. What's your favorite?
I did.
What's your favorite vegetable to plant?
I don't know.
No.
I also didn't mind.
What's your favorite vegetable to weed?
Kevin
What's
had-
your favorite vegetable?
Kevin
to
also had a planter.
watch grow.
That was fun.
Yeah,
that
that
you could
was
sit
fun.
behind.
It was an
and
old
you'd
tobacco planter.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun.
And they'd raise you up, and you're like, "Ooh, this is fun."
You'd have to put them in every other, I think it was, and they'd
Yeah.
come
sit on
and
the back of
they'd
a
grab
truck
and-
or something? Would you?
Yeah, they had like a
on the
time
back of
that
a
would put
tractor.
Nice.
put
He
the
would
thing
pull
in
it, and they would rotate, and
Oh,
the thing would
yeah.
dig out a spot for it to go
Fun.
down, and then there were tires
And
that
there's
would
water.
push it back down. Yep, and
Water
the
that would be
guts
pushed in there is fun.
would also
Really?
be pushed
That's
into
neat.
there. That stuff's done.
You grew up doing garden.
Yeah, you were a farmer.
What's your house?
Yeah, I mean, we had a big garden at home. I mean, long acres of garden. You know, at one point we had like 2 acres of garden,
That's a lot of garden.
and the rows were so long, and
Did you ever sell any of this stuff?
no,
What was the
my
point of
parents
having
just
so much?
well,
so
they
much?
they put it away.
They
You know,
preserved it.
at that point, I was telling Josh Brood, who is a cousin-in-law of ours again, married to one of my nieces over in Michigan, and he actually develops systems
Equipment?
to keep like mushrooms and potatoes and tomatoes fresh,
Right.
in large quantities. That's what his company does. But I was telling him that, you know, this time of year especially, if you had any potatoes from the year before, they'd be like this little, and they'd look like dried up people. You know, old people with little fingers coming out of there and stuff like that. You're trying to keep them in the root cellar.
Right.
Anyway, we did it to try to feed the family. It was cheaper to
Cost
grow
effective.
vegetables back then, so we had big garden. My favorite, any guess?
Watermelon.
I'm gonna say no. 'cause
Sweet corn.
that's-
Radishes. Sweet
that's-
corn.
No.
No.
Sweet corn.
I think
Onions.
that you
Are stalling.
I don't know.
Sweet corn.
Mm-hmm.
I like sweet corn. We haven't had any this year yet. It's July. Probably in the next week or so, if weather permits, we'll have some sweet corn around this area. That's always good, right on the ear. You know, I like that. Like to put a lot of butter and salt and pepper on it.
If they could find a way with sweet corn to not get the stuff in your teeth, I would be on board with sweet corn.
Maybe-
with
oh.
sweet corn. I like sweet corn a lot.
You know what you could do? Get like a mouth guard
There you go.
that you can still eat.
Yes.
I eat up.
Do you understand
Sweet
that your
corn.
teeth are, teeth and that's half of tasting?
Your teeth have taste buds on them.
Well, no, but just the like
Grinding it up
Try,
and put-
try eating with a mouth guard sometime, and
Well,
you'll realize
it was an idea, the new
Well,
invention.
I'm just letting you know.
that for corn
You're
takes
supposed to
away.
eat it, literally.
You eat.
Hud's corn.
that's a-
maybe
mouth guard.
there's some like inserts that go in between your teeth.
There you go.
Though
And
then it
then
gets
you-
caught even more.
Yeah. The inserts get caught in your teeth.
No,
I like sweet corn.
my invention.
And I do like watermelon right off the vine. My younger brother Trent and I would go. We had a huge patch one year, and we just would go in and cut one in half and just eat the
center
heart
out
out
of
of it
it, yeah.
and throw it away. Then we had so many of them. That was fun. That was when they had seeds. Actually, there were no seedless.
No
You know,
hybrids?
They had the big brown seeds in it. Anyway, sweet corn is mine.
Nice.
So
Okay.
We
Joe,
did.
did you want to go around one more time?
what's your favorite?
Yeah,
put it
let us know in the
put it in the
comments.
comments. We'd like to hear.
We would. We definitely would. So, 65 was good to us. Thank you for showing up and watching.
Hey,
Nice.
Drew and I also are.
What's
We
that?
also Drew and I
Oh.
also got some new jobs. We're working construction now.
Yeah.
Looks
Safety
like it.
green.
Yep.
Coming up in the next couple of weeks, join us because Kenny McMillan from the Gandhi Dancers organization is going to be stopping by. The Gandhi Dancers show up in
Late
in
August.
August. And if you don't know anything about Gandhi Dancers, then you're
about
going to
to.
want to find out about it because he's going to give us the whole scoop. We're going to hear from Katie Blair Shear. She's going to be back on the couch talking about her anniversary. I won't tell you which one it is. We're going to get John Traeger, who's a local treasure, businessman, been around for a long time. We're going to get him and go on a little tour. Will Royster, as I mentioned, Tim Dewar has been in contact with him, a Heights grad and has quite a story. Justin Martinez, we're going to try to get on the program. He is going to represent the Mazo Historical Society.
Really? Okay.
Yep. And then Wendy Sherman, as you mentioned earlier, she lives in Black Earth, but she is the president of the Mazomania Lions Club. And she's got an interesting story, not only the opera thing, but how she got involved in Lions Club and why she's over in Black Earth running Mazo's Lions Club. We'll hear all that and more coming up in the next few weeks on the original Father-Son voiceover podcast. Now back to you, Hudson, to close things out.
Bill's got something for us.
Did you say that she does the lion's share?
No. No.
And that's what we'll end with our 65th podcast with. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week for the 66th.
Got that grin on his face.
Laters.